driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Hi. I think I've got all the crying out of me. Hey, Michelle. Good to see you. Crying that hard always gives me a headache. So, I got to say goodbye to Jasmine, who was our dog. And she is passed now. And yeah, we gave her a good life. But I'm not going to own another dog. It's too hard. It's too hard, man. So this came up. I heard somebody talk about it in the meeting. They're like, my sponsor's a big book thumper. So we're going to be talking about what is big book thumping. I have no idea. I'm going to make all this up. So, no, really, there is more to it. I kind of have a headache, so, but I did take something for it and drank some water. Where is my water? Let me grab my water. Yeah, I have my soda, but I need water. And of course, like any good alcoholic, I don't just drink water, I slam it, you know. I usually crush it and toss it, but the microphone picks up everything. Let's ask Google. Let's ask Google what a big book thumper is. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm going to be your host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I'm going to do a little bit of bragging, just a little bit, because it's just me and my friend here right now. This guy, his name is Theo Vaughn. Seems like a lot of people don't know who he is, but he's a guy in recovery, and he's just, I love the way he talks about recovery, you know, and I just really like the guy. He comes along as very transparent, very sincere, and I like what he does, and he started following me. He actually likes my stuff too, which is, he's a bigger person. I'm not expecting any, you know, but it is neat to kind of get recognized by somebody that's, you know, he's good friends with Joe Rogan. And you know, if I could get on a Theo Vaughn or a Joe Rogan podcast, I think that might help me a little bit. Anyway, those are what ifs in California dreaming. Is what I call it. Life is life. I'm just happy, you know. Even yesterday, you know, there was some success because, you know, like I announced, you know, yesterday in the meeting, I announced the podcast that Amber and I did, which I think turned out really, really well. And after I announced it, 3 people downloaded it immediately. So it's just neat to know that we can help people even while we're not helping people. That's why I do video. That's why I do audio. So that people can listen to me while I'm sleeping, while I'm playing video games. Well, yeah, you did. In fact, I brought it up and then you expanded on it. And I think that's what got people to go listen to it. See, that's why it needs to be more than Dion. It needs to be more than me, you know, because, you know, like I was explaining to the last speaker, the way I don't promote the podcast at all. The way that it works is you do a podcast, you give it to all your friends. I have more listeners. That's how I do it. It's attraction, not promotion. I will not spend any money on promoting the podcast. I just won't. It doesn't work anyway. I tried it once. I spent $25. You know what? I got nothing. So, and it just doesn't work out right. So what is big book thumping? You know? What is a big book thumper?
According to Sobriety for Women, big book thumpers are individuals in recovery who stress the importance of working the 12 steps and spreading a message of hope straight from alcoholics.
I'm a big book thumper. A big book thumper is someone who takes the big book very literally and strictly adheres to its teachings, often at the expense of other important aspects. Fuck you. Tell me what those bigger aspects are. Okay. Good to see you. Hi, Ingrid. Just don't put me on speakerphone. All right. I tell people that. I'm like, I'm not a speakerphone person. You put me on speakerphone, your whole house is going to hear me. So, a big book thumper. There it is. There's our big book. And within it, okay, and it's not 164 pages. It's actually closer to 200, just so you know. Well, you got the doctor's opinion. You got the forewords. That's why I kind of figured. Right? So this book has directions in it. Okay? And there's a line in there, and it says, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. And yes, the preface, the very opening page where it just says Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, there's page 1, which has nothing on it, right? Then we go to the next page, Alcoholics Anonymous. Then we go to here. See, I have writing here. Then it tells you other books you can read. It tells you AA literature. It goes on to say Alcoholics Anonymous, the story of how many thousands of men and women have recovered from alcoholism. Okay? And many thousands, that's what. It's millions. It's millions. Okay? Why do some of us believe in this so much? When you are a hopeless, helpless, chronic alcoholic who has felt loneliness like few other have, or you're a person who has been beaten your whole life, you had to made to submit, people telling you who you should be when you know it was wrong. It's a great reason, huh? I think this is the best reason right here, because it saves lives, because I can do that. And there it is. Amber's on a roll today. We're battling for our souls, my friend. Okay? This is spiritual warfare. But the neat thing is, we don't fight it. That's not our job. We do not fight, but yet we work the front lines. Yeah. It's not our battle. That is correct. It's not my battle. And I don't belong in it. All right? Yeah. See, war doesn't mean we have to fight. Well, yeah, it does. But we're gonna need some peace in our lives, right? What are some of the other books we can read? AA comes of age as Bill sees it. Dr. Bob and the good old timers. Pass it on. Daily reflections. Experience, strength, and hope. Booklets. Coming to believe. Living sober. AA prison. Inmate to inmate. So when people say, can I read something besides the big book? I'm like, yeah, it's right there. I only allow my sponsees to read AA approved literature for the first year. I know I'm a dick. There's a reason for it. Because these first 164 pages, just for you to get the bare minimum, is going to take about a year. Okay? Now we might go through it quick and get there, but there are going to be things that have to catch up, right? Like the 9th step. Some of these things we go through the and everybody has their way. Okay? That's why when we say there's multiple pathways, it means like Amber. Okay? She gets her responses through fast. Okay? And it works. I go very slowly and it works. We're doing the same thing. Okay? It's just, when you're 23 and stuff, you can, I tend to work with people that it takes a few months before they even know their name again. We even go on right here. Look at all the writing in my book, just in the contents, right? AA history, first half of First Step. Look at all this, more history, pioneers of AA. There's so much between knowing just how to live life, okay? But there's always more. I've been doing this for 35 years, and I still learn. I still learn. And every time I do, my life gets better. Well, I like that. So I do it more. Right? It's not any different from alcohol. It's just a different result. See, before I put all my faith, all my energy into alcohol. It was the solution at the time. Well, my solution changed. My solution changed, and it became the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. I finally became something worth having. That was nice to know, because for me, I never tried to control my drinking. I never, ever wanted to drink like a normal person. You want to know why? Because they don't drink right. I wanted to fit in. That's what I was always going for me. Now, I know there's some people out there, they did try and control their drinking. They did try and conform. Personally, I don't understand that. I didn't ever want to be like them. I didn't. Why would I want to be like them? I'm drinking because of them. You know what? The thing is when somebody treats you like an odd duck all of your life, what you do is you become an odd duck, and that's okay. There's a lot of things to learn in that book, but I would have to say, with what we're talking about here, one of the bigger things is you cannot transmit something you do not have. You can't. Period. Okay. Now, that is not where we use fake it till we make it. And alcohol, they used to say that, a glass of wine was good for you. No. It's poison. It's no good for you. It's not good for you in any form at all, for anyone. It is a poison. When alcohol first came out, it had the same label as poison, XXX, which means do not drink. It will kill you. And what do? We made different flavors of poison. That's humans for you, right? Always clamoring for something that isn't ours. clamoring for things that just aren't ours. I absolutely do believe in the big book. And the reason I believe it is because there's proof in the pudding. There's proof. There's absolute proof that it works. Right? And if you don't have the right information, you ain't gonna make it. And I know that. Right? So, on top of that, because I'm a big book thumper. I tell you that right now, which isn't any different from a Bible thumper. Yeah. Thank you, Michelle, for clearing that up for me. I don't quite have my full brain right now. I think that was probably the biggest part of it for me was the fitting in. And I have found that it doesn't matter if you've still got cars in the garage and you're rich, or whether you're homeless. There's a certain amount of denial that comes with all of it, and that is even. Right? Does the person that is homeless feel more lonely than the person that still has their family? No. I've been to both, and it's just as lonely. In fact, when there's other people around, it actually feels more lonely because you feel separated from them, but you live in the same house. It's actually a little bit worse. When you're homeless, you're not road. That doesn't really happen. Right? Out of sight, out of mind. That's what we tend to think. But I think, and I've been called a big book thumper for most, but that's how I was taught. That's how I was taught, and it works. So and it isn't that I won't grow and learn new things. I love learning new things. Absolutely. 6 and 7 step are all about growing and moving towards perfection. And I understand that. I know I'll never be perfect. Well, one day when I die, the day I'm perfect, I'm dead. It means I did it. Right? Maybe. Sorry, just got it. Yeah, the blank page, man. This is how it used to work. This is it. Okay. So you'd have a newcomer and you'd be like, okay, open up your book. Okay. And they always open it. Yeah. They go to here. I'm like, no, just open it. What's on there? Nothing. And that's what you know about staying sober. That's what we do. That's, I was just talking to a friend, and she's going to be helping me out with this Friday's meeting because I'm trying to put together questions and stuff. And I forgot where I was going with that. I probably shouldn't be doing this. So, it's important that we have the information so we can make right decisions. But I think I should probably wrap it up. So, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. It was good to see you all. I love you. Peace out and have a day.